Every official emergency guide seems to follow the same script, doesn't it? Stock up on water, canned food, flashlights, and batteries. Sure, those are important, but let's be real. Those lists are designed to keep you alive, just enough. They're not about thriving, they're about scraping by. But what if I told you there's another list? A second, unspoken checklist of survival tools that FEMA and other agencies won't talk about. Tools that go beyond the basics and give you a real edge when things go south. This isn't some conspiracy theory, it's about self-reliance. The truth is, the official recommendations are the bare minimum. They're not designed to make you independent, they're designed to keep you dependent. But if you want to stay ahead when the lights go out, you'll need more than bottled water and duct tape. There's a whole category of survival gear that quietly gets left out of the conversation. Maybe it's too tactical, too empowering, or just not convenient for the system. Whatever the reason, these are the tools that can make all the difference. Today we're diving into 9 hidden survival tools that FEMA won't tell you about, but you'll definitely want in your kit. Let's get started. 1. Silcock Key, the secret to hidden water sources. When the taps run dry and bottled water vanishes from store shelves, most people panic. But seasoned preppers know there's a hidden water source that's often overlooked. Commercial buildings, schools, malls, office buildings, and gas stations all have outdoor water spigots connected to the same city water supply as your home. These spigots are locked, designed without standard handles to prevent public access. That's where the Silcock Key comes in. This small, 4-way tool is a game changer. It's specifically designed to open those locked spigots, giving you access to pressurized treated water when everyone else is scrambling. It's not about breaking the law, it's about survival. FEMA won't tell you about this tool, because it provides access to resources they'd rather keep regulated. But in a crisis, when survival trumps bureaucracy, the Silcock Key is invaluable. What makes this tool so effective is its simplicity. It's lightweight, fits in your pocket, and doesn't require batteries or setup. All you need to do is locate a spigot, insert the key, turn, and you've got water. But here's the pro tip. Don't wait for disaster to strike before you start scouting. Take the time now to identify where these spigots are in your area. Schools, gas stations, and large commercial buildings are great places to start. Of course, always purify the water you collect, no matter the source. A portable water filter or purification tablets can make all the difference. Remember, you can only survive 3 days without water. While others are waiting in long lines for emergency water trucks, you'll be quietly filling your containers, staying self-reliant and under the radar. The Silcock Key isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's a tool that empowers you to take control of your hydration needs in an urban survival scenario. And the fact that it's not on any official list is exactly why it should be in your kit. 2. Mini Pry Bar, the tool for access and escape. In a real crisis, locked doors and jammed windows aren't just inconveniences. They're obstacles that can mean the difference between life and death. Whether you're trying to escape a dangerous situation, rescue someone, or scavenge for supplies, waiting for permission or help isn't always an option. That's why a mini pry bar is an essential tool for any serious survivalist. This compact yet powerful tool is small enough to fit in your bag, but strong enough to move heavy debris, pry open doors, or crack into nailed crates. Unlike a hammer or saw, it's quiet and discreet, making it ideal for situations where you don't want to draw attention. Imagine an earthquake hits, and someone is trapped behind a jammed door, or you're stuck in a building with no power, and the elevators are dead. A mini pry bar can be the difference between being stuck and getting out. What makes this tool so effective is its simplicity. It doesn't rely on batteries or moving parts, just solid steel leverage you can count on. Look for a pry bar that's 8 to 12 inches long, made from carbon steel or titanium, with a curved claw and flat wedge edge. These features ensure it won't bend under stress and can handle a variety of tasks, from lifting debris to breaking through light barriers. Pro tip: pair your pry bar with gloves and a flashlight to create a quiet, night-ready entry kit. You can store it in your backpack, glove box, or even tape it flat under a vehicle seat for easy access. FEMA won't recommend this tool because it's built for independence and mobility, qualities that don't align with their wait for help approach. But in a survival scenario, help doesn't always come fast, and sometimes it doesn't come at all. The mini pry bar is a tool used by firefighters, rescue crews, and utility workers for real-world emergencies. It's not about looting or lawlessness, it's about access. When speed matters and options are limited, the pry bar gives you the leverage, literally, to overcome obstacles. In survival, access is everything. Don't leave it to chance. 3. Gas shutoff wrench. Preventing disaster before it strikes. When disaster hits, especially earthquakes or explosions, one of the most immediate and deadly threats isn't what's happening outside, it's what's leaking inside. Gas lines can rupture, creating a silent but deadly hazard. One spark near a broken pipe can turn a bad situation into a catastrophic one. That's why a gas shutoff wrench is one of the smartest tools you can carry. This simple, lightweight tool is designed to quickly and safely shut off natural gas lines, cutting off the flow before it becomes a fireball. It doesn't require electricity, batteries, or special skills, just a quarter turn of the valve, and you've neutralized one of the most volatile threats in any disaster scenario. Gas shutoff wrenches are specially shaped to fit standard shutoff valves, usually located near your gas meter. Many models are made from non-sparking, rust-resistant materials, ensuring they're safe to use even in hazardous conditions. Some even come with additional features, like the ability to open water mains or small pry points for emergency entry. Why doesn't FEMA push this tool more? Liability. Encouraging people to interact with utility systems is risky, and they'd rather leave it to professionals. But in the real world, waiting for a professional can cost lives. Pro tip: mount your gas shutoff wrench near your gas meter now. Use zip ties, a hook, or Velcro to keep it secure and easily accessible. In an emergency, you won't have time to dig through your gear. This tool might not look flashy or tactical, but it's a lifesaver. It prevents explosions, saves homes, and gives you direct control over a critical threat. And once disaster strikes, it's the tool everyone will wish they had. No batteries, no noise, just raw prevention. In survival, it's not about looking cool, it's about staying alive. The gas shutoff wrench is a small investment with massive life-saving potential. Don't overlook it. Reusable zip tie cuffs. The multi-tool you didn't know you needed. They might look like something straight out of a police procedural, but reusable zip tie cuffs are one of the most versatile and underrated tools you can add to your survival kit. While most people associate them with restraint, their real value lies in their multi-purpose functionality. These heavy-duty ties are far from the flimsy plastic ones you find at the hardware store. They're built for serious survival scenarios. Let's address the obvious first. Yes, they can be used for temporary restraint in volatile situations. Whether it's dealing with someone unstable, preventing harm, or securing a breach in your group, having this tool can give you a tactical advantage. But that's just scratching the surface of what they can do. Reusable zip tie cuffs are thicker, longer, and designed for repeated use, making them perfect for a wide range of survival tasks. Need to lash down gear on the move? Done. Securing a tarp against high winds? Easy. Reinforcing a broken zipper or binding poles for a makeshift shelter? These cuffs have you covered. They're especially useful in high-stress situations where tying a perfect knot just isn't an option. Why don't you see these in FEMA's official guides? The word restraint makes agencies nervous. They prefer to focus on community building and soft skills, but in real survival situations, control over your environment and sometimes the people in it is critical. When choosing reusable zip tie cuffs, look for models with a button or latch release mechanism instead of the single-use kind. Opt for materials like UV-resistant nylon or reinforced polymer to ensure they hold up in extreme temperatures. Pro tip: pack at least 6 in your kit. You'll find more uses for them than you expect, from securing stretchers to patching broken packs. In survival, simplicity and speed are everything. Reusable zip tie cuffs deliver both. Whether you're securing your gear, building a quick structure, or managing chaos, these silent, strong, and reusable tools are exactly what survival demands. 5. Trauma shears. The life-saving tool for fast action. In a survival situation, the difference between life and death often comes down to how quickly you can respond to an injury. That's where trauma shears come in. These aren't your average scissors. They're designed for emergency situations. Built to cut through tough materials like denim, leather, seatbelts, and even light metal with speed and precision. When seconds matter, you don't have time to fumble with a knife or struggle to rip through clothing. Trauma shears are blunt-tipped for safety, serrated for grip, and angled for leverage, making them the go-to tool for medics and first responders. They allow you to expose wounds quickly and safely, whether you're applying a tourniquet, stopping a bleed, or accessing a limb through heavy winter clothing. So why don't FEMA kits include them? Because trauma shears aren't pretty. They look aggressive and suggest that injuries are more likely than most people want to admit. But if you're prepping for reality, not comfort, you know that injuries are part of the deal. A good pair of trauma shears should be made from stainless steel, coated for rust resistance, and durable enough to handle multiple uses. Some models even come with built-in tools like oxygen tank wrenches or ring cutters. But durability should always come first. Pro tip, keep one pair in your individual first aid kit, IFAK, and another in your vehicle's glove box. Always test them before adding them to your kit. Cheap ones can bend or jam under pressure, and that's the last thing you need in an emergency. Trauma shears won't fix a wound, but they'll get you to it fast, safely, and without hesitation. They're simple, effective, and life-saving. Exactly the kind of tool that's ignored by mainstream checklists, but essential for anyone serious about survival. 6. Blackout cloth. Your shield in the dark. When the power goes out and your neighborhood is plunged into darkness, even the smallest glow from a window can make you a target. That's why blackout cloth, also known as a light discipline tarp, is a must-have for any survival scenario. It's not flashy or high-tech, but it could be the very thing that keeps you hidden when it matters most. Blackout cloth is thick, non-reflective, and designed to block 100% of light from escaping. Whether you're using a flashlight, lantern, or even a small fire, it prevents that light from leaking out through windows, tent seams, or shelter gaps. In a world where others are cold, scared, and desperate, even a faint glow can signal comfort and make you a target. FEMA's advice is to stay visible, stay safe, but when things truly fall apart, visibility becomes vulnerability. Staying hidden is survival. Blackout cloth allows you to line windows, divide rooms, build stealth shelters, or even conceal gear. It doubles as insulation, wind blocking, and emergency privacy. When choosing blackout cloth, look for materials like polyester or tightly woven canvas. Fire-retardant options are ideal, and the cloth should be thick enough to hold its shape, but foldable for easy storage. Some survivalists even treat their blackout cloth with odor-absorbing spray for added concealment. Pro tip, pre-cut panels for your home's windows and practice sealing off a room in under 5 minutes. Time is critical when the lights go out, and the last thing you want is to fumble with scissors or tape while the world outside notices who still has power. In long-term blackouts, light becomes a beacon, and the last thing you want is desperate eyes locked on your location. Blackout cloth is silent, shielding, and absolutely invisible, exactly how you want to be when darkness is your only cover. 7. Rat traps. The small tool with big survival potential. When you think of survival gear, your mind probably jumps to knives, water filters, or maybe even a firearm. But seasoned survivalists know that sometimes the most effective tools are the simplest ones, like rat traps. Not the poison kind, but the old-school spring-loaded snap traps your grandparents might have used in their garage. These unassuming tools are a survivalist's secret weapon, offering versatility that goes far beyond catching rodents. Let's start with the obvious. Food. In a survival situation, protein is critical, and rat traps are a silent, reusable way to secure it. With just a crumb of food or a dab of peanut butter as bait, you can set these traps near your shelter or along animal trails to catch small game. They're quiet, efficient, and don't require batteries or complicated setups. In cold weather, when calories are life, these traps can mean the difference between staying strong and succumbing to exhaustion. But their usefulness doesn't stop there. Rat traps can also be rigged as perimeter alarms. By attaching a fishing line and a few metal washers, you can create a simple noise alert system to warn you of intruders, whether human or animal. No fancy electronics, no glowing screens, just a reliable click and clatter to keep you aware of your surroundings. Another overlooked use, gear protection. Animals are notorious for chewing through packs, tarps, and food containers in search of a meal. Strategically placing snap traps around your camp can deter these pests without resorting to poison or loud, attention-grabbing weapons. Why doesn't FEMA talk about rat traps? Because they're too primal, too self-sufficient, and too far removed from the polished image of emergency preparedness. But any experienced outdoorsman will tell you that these tools are a game changer. Pro tip, invest in traps with high spring tension and metal trigger plates for durability. Avoid plastic models. They're prone to cracking and won't hold up under repeated use. Always clean your traps after each use to prevent scent buildup, which can deter animals. Rat traps are lightweight, compact, and solve multiple problems at once: food, security, and pest control. They're not glamorous or high-tech, but they're brutally effective. In a world where silence, simplicity, and sustainability are key, rat traps are a survivalist's best-kept secret. 8. Contractor-grade plastic sheeting, the ultimate multi-use survival tool. If you had to build a shelter, seal off a room, collect rainwater, or protect yourself from contamination, all in the same day, what would you use? The answer is contractor-grade plastic sheeting, specifically the 6mm thick kind. It's not flashy, but this roll of durable poly material is one of the most versatile tools you can have in a survival scenario. FEMA might mention tarps in passing, but plastic sheeting, not a word. Why? Because it's not pre-packaged in a neat little kit, and it doesn't scream emergency gear. But seasoned preppers know better. This material is a powerhouse, capable of handling everything from creating instant shelters to building quarantine barriers. In disaster zones, plastic sheeting is used for dust control, containment, and even makeshift hazmat barriers. You can wrap it around broken windows after a blast, use it to line a pit for water storage, or turn it into a rain catchment system. It's also perfect for creating blackout covers to keep your location hidden when you don't want to attract attention. The 6mm thickness strikes the perfect balance between durability and flexibility. It can withstand wind, heat, and heavy use without being too rigid to work with. Want to control airflow? Use it to seal off a room for heating or cooling with just a few clamps and some duct tape. Need to protect food stores or create a clean surface for medical procedures? It's got you covered there too. Pro tip: choose clear plastic for light transmission and greenhouse effects, or black plastic for concealment and insulation. Always store it in a dry roll or tube to prevent punctures. And don't wait for a crisis, practice using it now so you're ready when the time comes. Plastic sheeting isn't glamorous or tactical, but it's one of the most functional and versatile survival tools you can own. It's a simple, affordable solution to a wide range of problems, and once disaster strikes, you'll be glad you stocked up. 9. Headlamp with red light mode, hands-free survival in the dark. When the power goes out and you're navigating in total darkness, the last thing you want is to fumble with a flashlight. That's where a headlamp with red light mode becomes an essential survival tool. It's not just about convenience, it's about stealth, security, and preserving your energy when it matters most. Here's the problem with regular white light: it's blinding in low-light environments. It destroys your night vision, makes you visible from hundreds of yards away, and turns you into a glowing target for anyone or anything watching. A headlamp with red light mode solves all of these issues. Red light preserves your natural night vision, reduces your visibility to others, and uses less battery power, making it far more efficient in a survival scenario. FEMA might recommend basic flashlights, but they rarely mention hands-free lighting, let alone the importance of color modes. Yet when you're setting up camp, treating injuries, or navigating rough terrain, having both hands free is a game changer. Look for a headlamp with multiple brightness settings, a tilting head, and a weatherproof design. Battery life is critical, especially in cold environments where power drains faster. Some advanced models even include lockout modes to prevent accidental activation in your bag. Pro tip: carry one headlamp on your person and stash a backup in your bug-out bag. If you're working with a group, red light helps maintain stealth and coordination without alerting the entire area. This isn't just a camping accessory, it's a survival necessity. A headlamp with red light mode gives you control over your movement, visibility, and energy. When the grid goes down and chaos sets in, this small tool becomes a massive advantage. Stay mobile, stay hidden, and stay prepared. When it comes to survival, the tools you choose can mean the difference between barely scraping by and staying one step ahead. The 9 tools we've covered, each overlooked by official emergency guides, are designed to give you that edge. From the Silcock key that unlocks hidden water sources to the headlamp with red light mode that keeps you mobile and discreet, these aren't just items for your kit, they're lifelines for real-world survival. FEMA's recommendations are built around the bare minimum. But survival isn't about just getting by. It's about being prepared for the unexpected, staying self-reliant, and thinking beyond the basics. These tools, practical, versatile, and often underestimated, equip you to handle challenges that no prepackaged kit can prepare you for. The truth is, survival isn't about waiting for help, it's about taking control. Whether it's securing food, staying hidden, or protecting your space, these tools empower you to act decisively when it matters most. So don't wait for disaster to strike, start building your kit now. Because when the lights go out and the world turns chaotic, the tools you have could be the difference between surviving and thriving.